Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Chatter Squadron, your weekly dose of Star Wars fun and positivity. My name is Tyler Bucks.
And my name is Logan Hansaker. What is up, you rebel scum?
Well, we have quite a lot of things up today. That's not how words are said. We have quite a lot of things.
We have quite a lot of things
up today. We're talking about the Bad Batch. We're talking about Republic Commando. We're talking about this week in Star Wars history. We have a lot of cool things going on for the show, but Logan, would you like to tell them a cool thing that they can do to help support the show?
Oh yeah, baby. Cool thing that you guys can do is comment in to win some art. We, for those of you who don't know, Acme Archives Direct is a website. They give us art to give away every month for our episodes. I think the first one we did sharing it. Now we did commenting. We'll kind of choose every month as a different way you can win the art. This month is commenting on any of our videos. So comment on any of our videos and you are entered in a chance to win that right there, which is Take the Bait by Phase Runner. I don't know if I'm actually pointing at it. Hopefully.
And Acme Archives Direct is Lucasfilm license and everything, so you will get your own certificate of authenticity, just like we have. But if you can't wait to get your own by winning the art, thank you so much, Logan. By winning the art, then you can just go to acmearchivesdirect.com and get your own Lucasfilm licensed art. Another way you can help support the show is by joining our Patreon. Patreon.com/Chatter Squadron. We have a bunch of reward tiers there, but at a specific reward tier, you get a shout out on every single episode. So this episode, we like to thank Commodore Marroquin,
and
Commodore Rayside. So like that, this episode is going to be a very clone-centric episode because we're going to be talking about the Bad Batch. We're going to be talking about Republic Commando, and we're only going... What are you doing?
What's up?
What are you doing? Why are you kind of doing everything I'm doing?
I'm just doing the show. We're just doing you got good movements. Just doing stuff.
Okay. So like I was saying, it's a very clone-centric... See, you're doing something here.
You said we were clones today. You said we have to do the exact same thing the whole episode.
I did not say that. I can't
stray at all, or everything's ruined.
I never mentioned that at all. You might have just been projecting when I said we're going to be talking about... Don't do that. Let's just talk about the different clone stuff.
Okay, we will.
Okay.
I mean, we are clones this episode, though.
Quit sighing and telling people that we're clones.
Okay. All right, I'm done with this bit. We're not clones.
That's what we want you to think. So today we're going to be talking about the Bad Batch, that it will be coming to Disney Plus May the 4th.
Oh,
finally, we get another thing to celebrate May the 4th.
Let's see what they did there.
Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company announced today, well, when this article came out from StarWars.com, that Star Wars The Bad Batch, the next Star Wars animated series, will debut on May the 4th, aka Star Wars Day, exclusively on Disney Plus for the second episode. And the second episode will be premiering Friday, May 7th. Subsequent episodes will premiere on Fridays. And I think that's what they did for the Clone Wars, the final season too.
Right.
I think they had one come out on May the 4th, and then it was like, get ready, it's happening again.
Right after.
And then they did that as well with The Mandalorian. The first episode of The Mandalorian came out, and then because it came out on like a random day, like a Tuesday or a Thursday or something, Disney Plus.
Right.
And then it was like, but this is happening every Friday, so here's the next episode right away. So they're kind of keeping with tradition already, it seems.
That's sweet. You get like 2 episodes for the price of 1 right away.
And can I just say for myself how kind of let down I am that Star Wars Day is May the 4th, and that so many people just accept a punny name like that.
Oh, you don't like it?
May the 4th? Well, I mean, I like it, but at the end of the day, it is just a pun.
Right.
May the 4th be with you.
And we hate puns.
We hate puns.
Here on Chatter Squadron.
Or Revenge of the 5th. I like Revenge of the 5th more.
Yeah, actually. But that would be Cinco de Mayo, right?
It is Cinco de Mayo, yes.
Too many holidays in one day. They had to go with May the 4th.
Well, hey, I mean, can you have too many holidays on one day? Yeah, I already answered my question.
There's a new holiday every day, apparently. You know what I mean? There's always, especially with the internet, I'm always looking up like Donut Day. You know, you just wake up one morning and it's Donut Day.
Well, I tell people a little bit more about this. Look up what today is when it comes to being a holiday. The series follows the elite experimental troopers of the Clone Force 99 introduced in Star Wars The Clone Wars as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone War. So this is kind of a sequel to the Clone Wars series and a sequel to Revenge of the Sith. What is today?
Today is International Polar Bear Day,
Oh,
February 27th,
well,
2021.
happy International Polar Bear Day, guys. Go out and hug a polar bear for us.
Yeah, if you see a polar bear, give it a big hug.
Right. And give it, there's probably some weird tradition for Polar Bear Day.
Drinking Coca-Cola.
Throw spaghetti on some bushes.
Oh, yeah,
Whatever it is. Think about Christmas, the weird stuff that we do on Christmas.
Oh, that's true.
Cut down a tree, bring it inside.
Put some candles in it.
Put some candles in it.
Hope your house
Go
doesn't
to
catch on
sleep.
fire. Yeah. Sleep soundly that night.
Put some cookies out for a magic man who sneaks into our house. All right, members of the Bad Batch, as they prefer to be called, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the clone army. Each possesses a singular exceptional skill, which makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. So that's basically what they had to say for StarWars.com. And Logan and I just recently watched the Clone Wars episodes with the Bad Batch.
Right.
And I just want to take a step back to say, man, they really did up the production value for that season.
For the last season.
Oh my gosh, it looks so amazing.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting to think, are we going to get even a step above for the Bad Batch when this comes out? I'm not sure.
I don't know how you could go. Like, there's definitely a point, you know what I mean, where it's like still animation. Like, you don't want it too, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't want it too crazy. I don't want to say clear because like you want it to be clear, but you know what I mean? Like, I still want it to look like a cartoon. It's animated.
Well, I mean, it is the Clone Wars, so I think they're legally obligated to make all the characters' edges be extremely sharp on their faces.
Like Dooku's beard.
Like Dooku's beard that can cut open a can.
Right.
Swing.
He doesn't need a can opener.
He can, no, Anakin, I can block your lightsaber with my beard.
I can imagine that beard. What can't that beard do?
But if people don't necessarily know too much about the Bad Batch and its members, Logan, would you like to give people an introduction into the Bad Batch?
I would. We got Sergeant Hunter, the team's leader, kind of like the Red Ranger, a clone with enhanced sensory abilities.
Yeah. Just like the Red Ranger, he's the leader.
Yeah, that's the only way.
There's a lot of other leaders in media.
No, there's actually not, because every time I see a leader, it's always the Red Ranger. It's like, oh, that guy's the Red Ranger. Who's the lead Ninja Turtle, the sword guy?
I thought it was the rat guy.
Oh no, yeah, he's the master.
But he's not a Ninja Turtle. I get what you're saying.
Who is it? Forget it. Wrecker, the squad's brash strongman and assault specialist, a reckless clone with enhanced muscular form. That's the big guy. That's their strongman.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Rack from the show I watched, Tower of God.
Oh, okay, good.
That means nothing to you.
Kind of reminds me of this random thing that I once saw.
That only I watch, and you don't. Comment on that, Tyler.
Perfect. Hey, if anybody, and people in the chat right now are telling us that Leonardo is the blue turtle, was the leader. So if you've seen Tower of God,
yes,
put it in the chat, and Logan will send you $1
for record. Wow. That's I'm gonna be broke. More than I already am.
Crosshair.
I love that we're just Crosshair. That's when we break the bits. The team's grim, sarcastic sniper, a clone with eyesight and marksmanship that allowed him to excel in long-distance firefights. I think this might be my favorite so far.
Really, Crosshair.
I think so.
Even though in the episodes he was kind of a jerk.
I'm a jerk.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
No, I don't know. I liked he's kind of weird.
Well, a lot of the stuff he did, it was very much like, well, your friend's gonna die.
Yeah, I would have left him too. It's like, whoa,
listen, this guy, tough luck, Buck. Your friend's dead.
He just threw.
He did that a lot in those episodes. Am I right?
Oh, that was a toothpick. Yeah.
What did you think it was?
I don't know, like a death stick or something. Ooh, yeah, your friend's gone. Just
I'm
flicks
on,
it right in his face. Oh
I
man!
feel like I'm on Cloud City right now. I don't even know what's going on.
All right, take the shot. Where are
Whoa,
they?
hey, just shooting the ground.
Oh
So that's
man.
Crosshair. He's kind of a druggie.
the, the druggie of the group. And then we have Tech, the hyper intelligent and knowledgeable tech specialist, a clone with enhanced mental capacity and intelligence.
Yeah.
Kind of like your Donatello. He does machine. These are all going to be related back to the Ninja Turtles. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Well, they are kind of like the Power Rangers or the Ninja Turtles or something, where they're like a group that all have their own special thing. I think the Power Rangers, from someone who watched it as much as I have, all they really had was like different animals that they were.
Right.
And that's basically it. They basically fought the same. They did the same thing. They were played by the same like 20-year-old Japanese or whatever men.
right in the suit.
It's the same. It's the same person in each suit, basically.
Yeah, I the only other would be the leader. I think the leader was the only difference. And then, like, their suit colors.
You mean the Red Ranger?
The Red Ranger.
That's probably why my favorite color is red, is because of them, by the way.
Always, you like the leader?
Yeah, I mean, I am the leader of the Chatter Squadron, right? Right, Logan?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Logan? Right.
Yeah, right.
So what we don't have here is talking about tech, or no, we do have talking about tech, but we also have Echo, who is now a part of the Bad Batch.
Yeah, following the Battle of Anaxis, clone Corporal Echo joined the squad. Love my notes. I said Echo is like half droid at this point, so that's his ability, to be half droid.
I like this idea that they're the Bad Batch, that like all of them were bred with these specific types of differences in their genetic makeup. They all have their own special abilities and all this stuff. Oh, and that guy, he was just held captive and had a bunch of his limbs cut off.
Right.
That's why he's bad.
He's basically, he can hack into the computer systems with his arm.
He's a part of the Bad Batch because, well, look at how bad he looks.
Yeah, he looks terrible.
That's why he's in the Bad Batch.
He could be in the terrible batch.
Yeah, and that's something I love about them, is their name being 99, or let me find it again. So Clone Force 99,
right.
Because of the Clone Wars episodes where they were back in the what was that? They were in Camino, and there was one clone who had a bunch of defects, but he still wanted to help in the fight and everything, and he eventually sacrifices himself. And I will say that the Clone 99 thing makes me cry every time I ever rewatch Clone Wars. I cry every time for 99.
Right.
So when they did do the whole thing, and I'm not crying now, there actually is something in my eye.
Sure.
When they did come and they were like, hey, we're Clone Force 99 or whatever, the Bad Batch, and it was like, I get it. Right. Nice touch.
Way to name it after him.
And then they said that even.
Way to tug at all of our heartstrings.
Yeah, way to take our heartstrings and just punch them.
Just punch. You
pummel them
me right
into the ground.
In the heartstring.
But yeah, we do have a look at the Clone Wars because we got a trailer for them. And in the trailer that we saw, the new one, the series sees Ming-Na Wen voicing Fennec Shand, the character she plays in the live action The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, baby.
And she looks basically exactly the same as she does in the Bad Batch as she does in this or in the Mandalorian and the Bad Batch. She looks the same.
She's not like half cyborg. She doesn't have a cyborg stomach.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't have a garbage disposal in her belly now,
and a dope costume that lets anyone she wants just able to open up and see.
Just an FYI, my belly is like this, so everybody knows.
Right.
We're going to go a little bit more into the Bad Batch, but we want to know, are you excited to see the return of the Bad Batch? Are you going to watch it? Comment below, and you could possibly win the art, and we can possibly bring you up on the screen. But Logan, in that trailer for the Bad Batch, what did we see popping in?
We saw some stuff. Mm-hmm. We saw some things. First, I said we definitely saw Camino. Looks like there was a scene or Kanemo.
Yeah. It's like Kenobi almost. Kenobi, Kanemo, Camino.
Just really confuse people to where they don't know what it's called. No, it looked like there was a scene in that initial cloning room, mm-hmm. which I will later we are going to talk about Republic Commando, so I'll get into a little bit of that later. But I think that's cool for any clone, because God, I don't want to talk about it too soon. But in Republic Commando, that's that first scene.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You're in the cloning room. You're looking to the right. You're looking to the left. You see all the other clones. So that in itself is very cool to have clones in a scene back in that room where all of their lives began.
It's
basically.
it's kind of a tie-in.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool
to how they were brought together.
We also got Palps, got good old Palps, Sheev.
Doing his classic First Galactic Empire speech.
First Galactic Empire. Yeah, which is just pulled right from Revenge of the Sith, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool scene. As I just like the perspective, and I will probably talk on this a little bit later too, of like we've seen a lot of these scenes, like that one that they pulled right from Revenge of the Sith. We saw that from a different, in Revenge of the Sith, we were kind of more of the perspective of like the Jedi and and Anakin and what's going on there.
Yeah.
So I think it's super cool to be able to see those scenes
from a different angle.
Yeah, and it's like, how are they reacting to that? Especially, the Bad Batch, who don't have the inhibitor chip. They are thinking for themselves. So they're not just drones that are just like what, they're having thoughts about what he's saying, and like, you know what I'm saying?
I thought you were about to say they're having fun.
They're having fun. They're having fun. And that's what the Clone Wars is about. It's just about having a little bit of fun.
Right.
You shoot some droids, have some fun.
See, that's the thing. Star Wars fun and positivity. We can always even make war fun.
Yeah, we'll make war fun. No, we won't.
That should be in our intro.
Make war fun.
Chatter Squadron. Make war fun. It looks like we get to see another clone trooper using a flamethrower. You never get tired of that.
I don't think you do. Well, it's just cool that you get to see like a specialized clone trooper. And what I'm thinking, which many people are probably thinking, is, is the Bad Batch the only group of clones that, I mean, obviously, you have Rex and there's other ones, but you know what I mean? Are we going to come across other clones who didn't exactly turn to the Empire?
Yeah.
That could be cool.
Who ripped their inhibitor chip out by hand.
With their bare hands. With bare hands.
Yes. Bare hands.
Yeah. Polar bears.
Happy Polar Bear Day, everybody. We brought it back around.
That's how we do it here. We saw a little tussle with a Zygerian, or as I call them, cat people.
I mean, there's not really a better way to talk about them. They're cat people.
No, that's what I call them, Tyler.
That's you alone?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to call them people that could be cats. I don't know.
They could be. I mean, so you're saying we're getting a Cats the movie crossover with Star Wars in this?
No. No.
Edited out cat buttholes.
Oh no.
Perfect.
Oh, all right. Cool to see a little Grand Admiral Tarkin.
Mm-hmm. And
before
didn't he say something about them? Like, that was effective or something like that.
Yeah, so there's definitely an interaction with the Bad Batch and Grand Admiral Tarkin.
Which gives you kind of an idea that, like, we're possibly going to see them have to work with the Empire a little bit while it's getting started.
Right.
Or do they just stay with the Empire? Do they think freely and they're like, you know what? We want to be evil now.
Yeah, you know what? These guys, this is good stuff.
Yeah, we have Crosshair over there who's like, what's that Empire? Sounds cool. Empire? We're all gonna die anyway, just like your friends.
Whatever. Yeah, they're okay because they chose to be bad.
Right.
They're like, this is a choice. And we want to be the bad guys.
Execute Order 66. You're like, well, what's it all about? Killing people? We're in.
I'm in. I'm definitely in with that.
So something when it comes to this show that I will say when it comes to Clone Wars and now the Bad Batch is that the clones were kind of my least favorite part about the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Which, I even said it to you and you were like, oh, so you didn't like the clones. It's like, no, I didn't. It's not that I didn't like the clones. It's not that I didn't like the clones. It's that when it came to everything else in the Clone Wars, they just weren't necessarily my favorite part. Like their storylines and all that, they were good and everything, but it's not what I was waiting for. And what I was waiting for mostly was Ahsoka and even Kit Fisto and Plo Koon and Obi-Wan and Anakin and Mace, and I may have already said Mace, but I liked the
Mace is that special. He gets it twice.
But that's what I kind of liked about the Clone Wars the most was the Jedi stuff, and that's kind of how I am with Star Wars in general. I like the Jedi more than the regs. But so I am still going to watch this. I'm still going to be excited, but I'm going to try and see what they take from the Clone Wars to make this part interesting.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be interesting for me because it won't be like, hey, there's Jedi in this as well to make me go, oh, I want to see what's going on with the Jedi. It might just be a kind of a clean slate for me in the sense of being like, oh, this is just their story and I'm able to focus more on the clones this time around. I'm
Right.
not sure.
I think I agree and I disagree because there's points in the Clone Wars where like it's going to be primarily like a clone episode or like a clone arc. And like
Yeah.
in my head, I would say that's like, okay, this is going to be a clone arc. Cool.
Mhm.
But that didn't mean I disliked it because definitely, even all growing up, I would definitely go through phases of like, obviously being obsessed with the main characters and the Jedi and all that.
Right.
But I also had mad phases where I would love the non-force sensitive people. Like I loved the idea of being a clone and being in the clone army and
Wow.
just seeing how that would, like playing Battlefront, even like have that little storyline up in your head of like, all right, I'm the clone going through, you know what I mean? Like that was cool. I know this is a little different, but like Han Solo, like obsessed with those characters. It's like, how would they tie into this story not being force users, not being force sensitive? I kind of have a little bit of a fascination with the clones. I do think that's, I don't know. I like it.
I also am excited just in general, being a Star Wars like historian almost in a way, to see what it looks like ground level for the clones while the whole Empire transition is happening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because this is going to be very interesting. There's a lot of questions I still have about what the heck happened.
Yeah. How did this get to that?
Right. And also with the inhibitor chip for Order 66, which, by the way, if you haven't watched Clone Wars or really know that, the reason why Order 66 was so easy was because they had a chip in their brain that was activated by saying execute Order 66, thus kind of turning them into like drones in a way.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, how much does that little chip have control over their entire brain?
Right.
And eventually they stopped using clones and they started using normal people.
Yeah, why?
So why exactly?
Yeah.
When did that happen? So it's going to be interesting because, like I said, we haven't seen this in canon yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think we talked a little bit last episode about what Star Wars is for you, what Star Wars is for each individual person.
Right.
Star Wars for me, primarily, I don't know. I'm drawn more to the the Empire, the Galactic Empire, the kind of rebels versus the Empire, that older type of stuff, because
classic stuff,
not even just about classics as in like movies or film, but just, I like the idea of like, you could tell this was once new and futuristic,
right?
But it's old and kind of broken down and it's part of the wires are sticking out. Like
the way I always talk about it is it's lived in.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like something that just kind of, busted out
shiny,
of nowhere. It's
shiny, brand new.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not
and
that.
some stuff is brand new. Some stuff is shiny. And that kind of
Right.
gives you an idea of the difference between like that, the rebels and the Empire and whatnot.
I like, so I was always obsessed with that of like, okay, this is the Empire, like, and they're using stormtroopers, they're not clones anymore. And then you jump back growing up to seeing all the prequels in theaters together.
Right.
And being obsessed with that era a little bit too is like, yeah, it's always like, how did that get here? Why would they stop using the clones? How are the clones, you know what I mean? How did they take out all the Jedi? How did that even happen? So all those missing parts, I think, hopefully the Bad Batch, this is probably the most interesting time in Star Wars for me, is right after, Order 66. Execute Order 66. Okay, what the heck happens after that? You know what I mean? It's just like craziness.
Right.
How does that all shake out? How do the characters get away? How did Yoda get away? How did Ahsoka get, you know what I mean? How do all these characters? So and obviously some of that was covered in the end of the Clone Wars, like with Ahsoka and everything. But with the Bad Batch, I feel like they can even take that further. Even that, Grand Moff Tarkin is Grand Admiral Tarkin.
Right.
How did he? There's a lot of cool stuff. I like that.
And what is Grandma Tarkin up to right now?
Yeah, what's Grandma Tarkin doing?
Grandma Tarkin. I don't know about this whole Order 66 business.
Oh, it just doesn't sound good to me.
It irks my bones. My bones talking.
Don't go through with it.
Grand. All right.
Don't go to the Death Star.
So I asked
How do you
the
know so much about it? Let's go ahead.
I asked the question, are you excited to see the Bad Batch return? We're going to look at Bradley. And he said, I'm super excited. It's like another version of Order 66, I hope. And I expect some messy battles on par with the Siege of Mandalore. And man, I love the Siege of Mandalore. So I'm extremely excited about that happening. Let's see. Rick says Order 66 is all about the friends we slayed along the way. And who knows? Are they going to be slain friends?
Yeah.
I don't know if the Bad Batch will actually do anything like, very malicious, if you ask me,
You're saying they will or they won't?
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Are they going to
No.
be pushed like Finn was? Do you know what I'm saying? Like kind of pushed to the edge and then break off, or what?
I'm when I'm thinking about it, and I'm usually wrong. I thought it might be more of like they break off and it's kind of like a mercenary type of role. They fall into that type of, not like I guess a bounty hunter, but you know what I mean? It's like I think they might stay with them for a bit, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that could be cool to see what is their breaking point. You know what I mean? Like what is that arc going to be to where they're like, yeah, I'm out.
Right.
This isn't for us. And how do they do that? How do you get away with that? How do you just break away from the Empire and get a clean getaway?
I guess you probably don't get a clean getaway, and I guess that's what we're going to see more of. But yeah, moving on to our next story, which is the classic Republic Commando blasts into PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. So, we talked about the Clone Wars, we talked about the Bad Batch, and now we're talking about another Clone Wars era type thing, and it being back. However, it's not back in like a remake or anything like that, but it's back in the sense of now you can download it, or coming soon you can download it on PlayStation and Switch. Logan, tell the people a little bit more about this.
Yes. So Lucasfilm Games and Aspire announced today, when the story was released, not today, that the classic prequel era shooter Star Wars Republic Commando will come to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 via backwards compatibility, and Nintendo Switch on April 6th.
April 6th.
April 6th. Really get that enunciation.
Revenge of the April 6th. So that's a little ways away.
Yeah, we got some time. And so when it comes to Republic Commando, I played a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. A skosh. Growing up.
Yeah.
But I'm more familiar with watching someone, I don't know who. Someone did a live stream of it. I watched it.
Well, someone might have been me. Yeah, I did at the start of the pandemic last year. I did playing Republic Commando, so you can check that out on our social medias. They're still there somewhere, and it's kind of a cornerstone for me when it comes to Star Wars games.
Yeah,
the Republic Commando game, because it was so different than a lot of other Star Wars games. First person shooter, very gritty. You were like stabbing bugs in the face with your arm knife and all this. It was all really, really cool and hard in places. So I'm a big fan of Republic Commando, and anytime there's little hints of Republic Commando in canon, I love it. And even when it's big hints, basically being Gregor, which was that one clone in the Clone Wars who turned out to be a Republic Commando.
Right.
So now it's canon. And okay, I'll step back for a second. The fact that Republic Commandos exist as canon, I'm not sure if their actual game story will be canon.
Like the Delta Squad and everything like that, you're saying, right?
Yeah. Everything you do in that game. That game is very kind of base level. It's very kind of ground level. Like they don't go and they don't shoot Count Dooku in the face or anything. Like it's not craziness. So it's possible that that story could fit in. But Republic Commandos we know exist. And also there's smaller things that kind of tie Republic Commando with the Bad Batch, much like them having some of the weapons that they had in Republic Commando.
Yep.
Wrecker specifically, I remember having one of the Republic Commando's machine guns.
Right.
And it basically looked and did exactly the same thing. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Right. Yeah, no, there's a lot of cool little Easter eggy things in there that they sprinkle in for you. But I agree. I think it's very cool that they're tying Republic Commando in. I feel like it gives a lot of payoff to the people who actually did go back through
Yeah.
like yourself and play the games and kind of fall in love with those games. I always thought it was cool, and I didn't play the game right like this, I'm sure, when I was younger, but how it was that very squad based.
Yeah.
You are the leader.
Yep.
You can't get around
You
not
are the
being
Red
leader.
Ranger.
Yeah. You can't get around. You know what I mean? In order to do things, you have to command people to go open doors, to go heal people, to go do that. So that's very cool.
Yeah.
Looking at a game that way, and I think they even say this in the article. I might have just paraphrased it, which I can read it. That is something new that they tried to introduce in 2005 for that game, was that kind of squad based work together type of deal. Work with your squad to get the what does it say? They had a cool quote here that I'm going to butcher. The squad is your weapon.
Yeah.
I thought that's super cool.
Right. Because you work together basically to make things right, and to open doors, and to even kill specific people.
Yeah.
You can pick out a target and make sure people fight them. Yeah.
When you could do sniper, you could have people on jobs too, right?
Exactly. You can set someone back further to be a sniper. You can set somebody over to throw grenades. You can do a bunch of different stuff. And if, once again, like I think we talked about KOTOR, one of the first episodes of the season, and it coming back, and if it did come back, it would be I don't know what you're trying to mouth to me. What
KOTOR?
Oh, just KOTOR.
I just said
KOTOR. But when it comes to that, the idea of KOTOR coming back, that we were saying, if it did, it would probably be Knights of the High Republic.
Right.
And so I think if we ever did get a new Republic Commando game, it would be the Bad Batch.
Well, they're pretty similar, and that's I threw something in here. I think some parallels can be made with the Delta Squad from Republic Commando and the Bad Batch, and I'll read a little description that was for Delta Squad when the game came out. And
Delta Squad.
Let me know if it doesn't make you think of the Bad Batch, just based off this.
I will think very hard about the Bad Batch.
Do it. Additionally, do it. The idea of a game where you could control an entire squad of characters to get through each mission. The squad is your weapon, and give them commands to take out targets, heal each other during combat, was something different that fans had not seen from a Star Wars game before. End of the Commandos and Delta Squad had a unique personality and voice, which added each of the Commandos and Delta Squad had a unique personality and voice, which added great flavor to the storytelling of this group. It was a great subject with interesting characters and a compelling story and a fun, immersive gameplay.
Time to rearrange some architecture.
Right. So even just hearing the different voices and like having each, you're a squad, but that guy might do that job and that guy might do that job. And they all kind of have different voices and different personalities.
And they all had different names too.
Yeah. Like Sev.
Sev, Scorch.
Boss.
I believe. I can't remember all of them. If somebody in the comments would like to tell us the ones that they can remember, please do. But yeah, they all kind of had their own little nicknames.
Yeah.
Fixer was one of them. Thank you, Trevor. Fixer.
Right.
So Fixer, Scorch, Sev, and Donatello. Yeah.
And Boss. But because the main guy, his name was Boss, or like his nickname was Boss or something.
And Red Ranger.
Red Ranger. And the polar bear. He's in there. That would be amazing, actually. If you had
the polar bear is the White Ranger for sure.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
Coming through with his little flute. Oh, that was the Green Ranger.
The polar bear playing a flute. That's interesting in itself. No, I think if I was working on the Star Wars creative team, I would go as far to say as someone, you read this, you look at the Republic Commando and it's like, oh, that's a cool idea. Let's take it a little further.
Right.
You know what I mean? Enhanced abilities.
Let's steal our idea from ourselves.
Let's inception ourselves, steal our own idea, and make it canon.
What
the
is
Mandalorian.
This? Yeah, I was going to say, what is this? A Mandalorian script idea session? Let's take something that we at once had and make it our own.
And steal it. And everyone will be like, wow, you guys are geniuses for coming up with this. And we're like, we know, we stole it from ourselves.
Perfect.
Pat on our back.
But yeah, Republic Commando is coming back. it's cool to see more people being able to play it. I was able to play it on my Xbox because I still have the disc.
You still have it, and you still have your Xbox.
I still have my I do still have my old Xbox, but I was excited to see that more people could possibly play Republic Commando. But that's the question when it comes to just Star Wars games in general. What is the best Star Wars game, and is it Republic Commando? I know that there's a big following of a lot of Star Wars games,
Yeah.
and I think Republic Commando feels a lot more like a cult following in a way, just
Right.
in my opinion, from my experience, because like you barely played it, a lot of other people barely played the game, but
Right.
the people who did, it's like, oh my gosh, it's such a big thing
Yeah.
for us.
What do you think your favorite Star Wars game is?
Favorite Star Wars game? I mean, if it's talking how many hours played, it would probably be Battlefront 2, the old one,
Yeah.
because of how often I played that, how often we played that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to games, I mean, I love The Force Unleashed. Big fan of that. And I would probably say Republic Commando is up there.
Yeah.
What about you, Logan?
Well, you stole my answer. No, I think Battlefront 2 was a big one. I agree. Just if you're saying games most played,
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time playing Battlefront 2, especially when you would be able to do Mos Eisley, the OG Jedi battle.
Yeah.
That was always fun.
Well, we also would do all the time
space battles.
Galactic Conquest.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
left it hanging there. Did you like that?
Yes, I did. I did like that. Thank you very much.
No, but that was cool. The fact that you could do the space battle and be outside, blowing up the ship from outside, and then you could land in their hangar, kind of get out of your ship, go into theirs, and start blowing it up from the inside, blow up their reactors.
I mean, when you did the space battles, that was like the most like pivotal way to actually win the space battles,
Right.
is just get out of your ship and go destroy it from the inside. Because all the people like spawning there would just run past you because like, we have to go into the ships, and you're just standing there shooting a panel,
blasting it, throwing grenades into this big reactor,
going back, giving yourself more supplies. One person shoots at you, you shoot them and kill them.
Right. And that definitely is criticism that I've seen come in for the not just that game, but for the space battles in themselves. It's like, oh, like once you play it once, it's just kind of like the same thing over, which is true. But also, like, we played it so much. Like, I would play space battle after space battle after space battle.
Right.
Because like that, I would just come up with my own little stories in my head of why my main character, the guy I was playing, was the main character, and then he gets blasted, and you're like, oh no, that was the main character. Now this guy's the main character, my next character.
No,
yeah.
You
know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we did that all the time, and pretending that the people that we were playing as in the game were our characters that we came up with.
Right, but we don't die.
We didn't die.
You didn't see that happen when that droid shot me.
Trevor said the best Star Wars game is the Gungan Frontier. Is that a game? Is that a real game? Or are we being trolled hardcore right now?
If it's not, it needs to be made right now.
Is it like, what's that where you get dysentery?
Oh, yeah.
Oregon Trail?
Oregon Trail, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I never actually played that game.
Neither did I, but I mean, if you're a gamer, you have to know about Oregon Trail.
Yeah, you have to. Oregon Trail.
Rick said the Super Star Wars trilogy was his favorite. That's only because I have an arcade cabinet I can play in my living room. Oh, sure you do, Rick. Picks or it didn't happen. Rick's or it didn't happen. I like Trevor. We see in the chat that Trevor gave us a link to Gungan Frontier. I'm not going to follow
so
that
it is
link
real
while we're doing you. We'll believe you.
Yeah, I take your word for it.
Right there. And then let's see, one last thing from Bradley. Star Wars Arcade. I played that when I was 6. It was brilliant and made me want to explore more Star Wars games like the pod racing, but in terms of hours into a game, Battlefront 1 and 2, the first ones. Yeah. I mean, I would go back to play Battlefront 1 so I could play in Ilum and Ilum and Cloud City, Bespin.
Yeah.
I loved the Bespin level, if you remember, because you had like kind of those walkways and whatnot, and you can snipe people from the tops of them and everything.
I'm trying to picture it now. Not coming up with anything.
That's okay.
It's usually what happens.
Just thinking on the radio, everybody.
Just thinking live. What is the one game, you might know it, where I don't know if it was pod racing, but you were in maybe like an X-Wing. You were always out in like Tatooine or something. It was old. It was old. I don't know what it's
Are
called.
you thinking of Rogue Squadron, or
Like the
even the X-Wing games, possibly?
It might have been that, yeah. And I don't even know. I think it was like on the original Xbox or something like that. This is how much I have. Pixar, it didn't happen. It happened.
And then Rick gave a pick.
Oh,
Yeah, there. See, there you go. Pick is in your text. Okay,
that is awesome.
fine. He is real.
It's real.
Everybody, fine.
Confirmed.
We believe you. But yeah, I would probably play Battlefront 2 right now.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like legitimately, I could play it right now and try and do Galactic Conquest. Space Battle.
Galactic Conquest is such a cool concept. You know, you move through each planet, and like that's so cool.
And then one more here. Jonathan said Rebel Assault.
Rebel Assault.
Rebel Assault.
I don't know if I know.
But yeah, so
no more salt puns.
No more salt puns.
I was tempted
for sure.
But we hate puns here.
Oh, that's right. I have to stay on brand.
You forgot.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
How dare you?
But yeah, is there anything else we would like to talk about when it comes to Republic Commando?
Republic Commando. I don't think so.
I think it's just that this a couple of those Easter eggs, like the DC-17M, which is what the Commandos use. Wrecker also uses, and then Gregor from Clone Wars. So we're getting a little bit of crossover, it seems.
Here's my crazy theory. Here's wild theory Logan time.
Ooh.
We're gonna see I don't even know. That might not even make sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. We're going to see Delta Squad in the Bad Batch.
Oh, at least.
I don't know if those timelines.
No, the timeline.
As soon as I said it,
I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible that we can see something. But here, let's jump over to kind of some breaking news. You want to talk about Screen Rant copying our style?
Okay, here we go. Screen Rant. What is a screen rant?
We're gonna rant on you on the screen right now.
Watch this screen for our rant. So last week we talked a lot about the Rian Johnson
trilogy,
potential trilogy, and the Last Jedi, and so we were talking a little bit about with the Vader father reveal to Luke, I am your father.
Yeah.
No, I am your father.
And I brought up the fact that like they added that scene with Yoda to basically say, hey, no, he really is your dad. So to the audience, it was confirmed.
Yeah.
Right?
And so we said that last week on our show.
Which is kind of a random thing to say.
Just random.
Yeah.
So random we are. And I saw like a day or two ago that Screen Rant put out this article that says Star Wars, why Lucas needed Yoda to confirm Vader really is Luke's father.
What?
Talking about that the only reason Yoda was even in the whole movie
was to confirm
it. So apparently Screen Rant is just watching Chatter Squadron. Okay, kind of taking our stories.
Here's the thing. If Screen Rant is watching Chatter Squadron,
I don't know.
If you guys are, then everybody else who's watching, maybe keep an eye out for Screen Rant to run some of these stories like breaking news. Logan, Boba Fett never escaped the Sarlacc pit. He has just been force projecting himself from the stomach the whole time.
Wow.
Just confirmed right now. Breaking news.
Are you listening, Screen Rant?
Breaking news. It's real.
Breaking news. The High Republic was not named that on a dare.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure? It seems like it definitely was.
It does seem that way.
Like Crosshairs with like, what if we called it the High Republic? It doesn't even really matter. We're all gonna die anyway.
We're all gonna die. No one's gonna get it.
Breaking news. The episode 10 script that Blue Bantha Milk said an AI wrote was actually an old notebook they found in George Lucas's house. So all of that was written by him instead, not by an AI.
Episode 10 by George Lucas himself.
Those Aussies. You can't trust them.
Yeah, not a thing.
Not a thing that they said. Screen Rant.
Breaking news. Apparently, the Bad Batch was actually named after an overcooked batch of chocolate-chipped cookies.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It kind of sounds like that one's tied into maybe the High Republic story. Something happened there. They got
something got a little mixed signals there. They're like, what should we call this again? Oh, man, do I smell burning?
Not again.
It doesn't matter. The cookies were going to die anyway.
The cookies were always going to burn.
Why do we keep this guy around? He's just a buzzkill.
Yeah, and also he wants to call it the High Republic.
Okay, so that's a thing that we need to keep an eye on during the week is
Screen Rant stories.
Screen Rant's headlines.
If you see any of those come through Screen Rant,
you know where it's coming from. But I want to tell you guys something that's coming from my own mouth, which is this week
in Star Wars history.
Brought to you by Tyler Bucks. Thank you for doing the effects. I looked up and then it just they came.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a little bit of that movie magic.
Movie magic indeed. So the first thing that happened this week in Star Wars history, which was February 20th, 1981. George Lucas completes his first draft for Revenge of the Jedi.
Jedis don't get revenge.
No, they get returned.
Which is true. They always do return.
They do return one way or another. But yeah, that was what it was originally called, was Revenge of the Jedi. And there's a bunch of posters and even merch that says that Revenge of the Jedi, and then it was later changed to sound more good.
Right.
The Jedi returned.
Luke can't be getting revenge.
Right. And I even have one of the posters that say Revenge of the Jedi right now.
Oh shoot.
Now February 21st, 1946. Anthony Daniels, C-3PO, is born, or is he created in a facility somewhere? I got you right as you were taking the sip that you were.
Why would you do that? I'm just like
trying to get that spit. We can't have spit takes. Actually.
No, there's
COVID-19.
So that and like the tech, the amount of money.
Yeah,
that's on
that
this
too.
Table.
That too.
All coffee must stay in mouths. That's why I have the lid. This is a perfect time to show off my Chatter Squadron mug.
Oh,
with a lid. And
keep talking about it. I'm trying to take a sip over here.
And Tyler without a lid. I was going to use yours for reference.
Yeah. What? People know what lids and not lids look like.
We need pictures, okay? This is a lid. That's not a lid.
But yeah, Chatter Squadron travel mug. I put the link for all of our stuff in the comments right now, and you can get stickers and everything. Like, look at this. Oh, I'm going to match it up.
Oh.
Look at that.
What?
Oh, the glare. Oh, no.
We love glare on this show.
We definitely do. Is this entertaining for people? It's not. Let's move on to the next one.
Thank God.
February 23rd, 1980. Mark Hamill guest stars as Luke on The Muppet Show.
Oof.
So, what was that?
I don't know. Anytime I hear Luke guest starring, I just think of the holiday special. It's like how much
Come
eyeliner.
on, Miss Piggy. Give me a smile.
Give me a smile, Miss Piggy.
But have you seen any of the stuff that he did? Like, he also did Pigs in Space and The Muppet Show and a bunch of other stuff as Luke. Those ones are really good, especially Pigs in Space with Luke, because Miss Piggy is really into Luke, and it's kind of this funny dichotomy of like, I'm just kind of here.
Right.
It's good. And also, I want to give a shout out to Skywalking Through Neverland. They are continually talking about Muppets because the Muppet Show is coming back. So if you want to learn more about the Muppet Show and Muppet history, check out Skywalking Through Neverland. I think they've done 2 or even 3 episodes about the Muppets.
All about the Muppets.
And those are the people that I worked with to create Force Fest, celebrating the saga. Yeah, there you go. So check out Skywalking Through Neverland. Great stuff. But yeah, and then one of the last ones here is February 26th, 1984. CBS Network premieres A New Hope, which draws 36% of the total television audience.
That's insane.
That's more than a third of everyone who was watching the TV at the time went over to watch that.
Right.
That makes sense. That's like Super Bowl level type things.
Yeah. Except you can say it on air.
Oh no, guys, we just got shut down.
Did we just get shut down?
I meant Superb Owl.
Yeah, I heard Superb Owl.
Yeah, you know that owl we saw throwing the football recently? He was superb, wasn't he?
He was. He could really throw.
He was a superb,
even though he had wings.
Owl,
no, that is insane.
But that just shows the power of Star Wars and it being kind of this intrinsic thing in the American psyche, as like, hey, Star Wars is going to be on the TV. Let's watch it. Let's all gather around the TV.
Let's shoot ourselves into the future. No, that was THX 1138.
Oh no, we don't want to talk about
I
that.
was watching a documentary about it the other day, and
Yeah.
he's George Lucas is brilliant. We know that. We always know that.
Yeah.
At least I think he's brilliant. He said that about that movie. Little tangent. THX 1138. He didn't want to make a movie about the future. He wanted to make a movie that looked like it was made in the future.
Well, he definitely did something.
He
definitely made the movie.
He definitely made a movie.
He definitely made a movie that didn't look like it was purposefully made.
Okay, he didn't explain everything. I'll stand by that movie. I like it.
And if you guys don't know what THX is, 1138 is George Lucas's first movie, which actually we had Logan on the old audio version of Chatter Squadron.
I was so nervous.
So last year, if you want to hear our little review on that. But speaking of old things, this is the kind of wrapping up of today's episode. So Logan, we had clones, we had other clones, we had Screen Rant copying us directly, and we had This Week in Star Wars History. So I think it was a pretty good episode, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Right. So we are agreeing. We really are clones. We're like on the same wavelength. What am I thinking right now? What am I thinking?
The skin is the largest organ of the body.
Wow, that's perfect. That's not what I was thinking, but I didn't know that. That was interesting.
It's just classic misdirection. I'll wow you with a fun fact to distract that I can't read your mind, and we are not clones.
So now it's time for us to go to the unknown regions, where we talk about something interesting we found outside the world of Star Wars.
We just found it outside.
We found it outside. Now this looks dangerous. It's some needles that I found on the ground.
Oh,
but Logan, last week I think I talked about WandaVision. So now it's your week to talk about something outside of Star Wars. I'm putting you on the spot.
Ooh, something outside of Star Wars. Does it have to be a show?
It could be literally anything that you want to talk about. This is just to give people a reason to tune out.
What music have you been listening to recently?
Music. I've been listening to. I'm going to actually pull up my phone. I've been listening to Poppy. I don't know if you know who Poppy is.
No.
It's kind of like baby metal-ish, but
Popeye.
I've been listening to a lot of 68.
Oh,
which I showed you recently.
You knew what you were doing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a band that Tyler showed me maybe like a week or two ago. I was over here, we were working on the show, and yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those bands where you watch them. You showed me a live concert of theirs.
Yeah.
And it's not like I was sitting like, oh, this is amazing. But like once I left, I couldn't stop thinking about their music. And I was like, I got to watch them again. I've watched that concert that you showed me over 10 times. Yeah. At least.
Well, 68, for people that might not know, it is, I believe, hyphen 68.
Yeah.
Or no,
apostrophe
68.
Like the year.
Yeah, the year. It's a 2-piece band, and it is just a guitarist and a drummer. And it's just like dirty, bluesy, metal, hardcore, but also very like classic rocky. It's hard to explain, but they're great.
I love and obviously I love duos. I love bands that are just Black Pistol Fire is another one that I listened to a couple years ago. That's a duo, very, very good, very talented. But they're just like their sound. And every time I watch that, the full sessions or Day Trotter session, and another one I looked up of them, it like the way they're so engaged with each other the whole time, like they're so always on the same page, the drummer and the the guitarist and the singer. It's incredible how, and the way what they do with their music too. It's like they don't, they'll be on one, and I'm terribly probably speaking not music terms, but you know what I mean? They'll be on like one sort of like riff or beat and then totally change time and then go to another, you know what I mean? It's like,
well, and they're super in sync, and
they make it hard on themselves.
They definitely do. But yeah, I've been listening to them a lot because they have a new album coming up, and it's called Give One, Take One. They have The Knife, and Bad Bite already released from that.
We listened to The Knife, correct? I want to listen to more of that.
Yeah, that's probably what we're going to do after the show.
Right.
But yeah, I've been listening to kind of more heavier stuff. lately, but I have a feeling like I might need to listen to some more folky stuff because it's like the world's melting around us because it's finally sunny and not snowy here in Ohio.
True. For who knows how long. We'll probably get a little second ice storm.
I mean, we
snow.
usually do.
At this point, though, I say it's the end of February. Even if it goes another 4 or 5 weeks of just frigid cold, it doesn't bother me because there's an end. You know, you can see the end of the tunnel. If it's like December or January and it's super cold, I freak out.
Yeah.
Wow. But now, you know, it's like it could be cold for another 5 weeks. It's gonna end regardless.
Yeah.
Meh. That's me being real snarky to the weather.
That's you being snarky, but also very optimistic. Like it could be really cold, but it's going to be a brighter day tomorrow.
Yeah. What is it? Today's sunset is tomorrow's sunrise. Just
is that a term?
I don't know.
I hate that.
I feel like
it's the worst thing I've ever heard.
It reminds me of I'm not going to go on that.
It makes me think of something that would be like on
a poster,
a piece of wood on Hobby Lobby.
I won't go on that tangent.
Live, laugh, love, Logan.
Or like I love just the classic, like the cat, you know, hang in there, that type of stuff. That's
you hang cats. What are you talking about?
Poster. I also hang cats.
Hang in there with the cat. Yeah, hanging on.
But you know, you got to hang a few cats every now and again. No, just kidding. I love my cat, Anthony Hopkins. He's amazing. Yeah,
his cat is Anthony Hopkins reincarnated.
Yep, he bites you. Not that Anthony Hopkins does, but Hannibal, the character.
Oh, yeah. Is Anthony Hopkins dead?
No. Wait, my cat? Or neither. None are dead.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for checking us out this week. We will be back next week, once again, 1 p.m. Eastern, some other time in some other time zone, wherever you're at. It's that time.
Yeah, we're... What a good way to say that. Wherever you're at, it's at that time.
Right.
You'll just know.
And we appreciate everybody so much for watching. Logan, is there anything you would like to leave the people with?
Should I see if I can remember how to count to 8 in Huddies?
While you remember, I would like to say one more time, Acme Archives Direct gave us this art to give to you guys. So comment and you can have a chance to win the art. And also, if you want to cut out the middleman being us, just go to acmearchivesdirect.com. You can get your own Take the Bait by Phase Runner or any other amazing Lucasfilm licensed stuff. And if you want to help out the show directly, go to patreon.com/Chatter Squadron. We have a bunch of reward tiers, and one of the reward tiers, you get a post show. So once Logan and I stop here, we're going to talk about something random and be very truthful about it. A couple, and you can, if you go on our Patreon and you become a patron, you can watch all of the old ones and listen to all the old ones, because several weeks ago we talked about Gino Carano. Last week I talked about my legal issues, personal life and mental health and all that type of stuff. So if you jump on our Patreon, you get kind of a more condensed and more perfectionism was a good one. But yeah, you get a more real, not real. You get what I'm trying to get across there.
It's the uncut.
It's
the raw,
uncensored.
I
mean, we do swear every once in a while on there. So if you want to hear us say a bad word,
less clean
on Patreon. But Logan, do you remember how to count to 10?
I hope so.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 0 is no bow, 1 is bow, which makes sense because if 1 is bow and you have no bow, you have 0.
Okay.
Dopa, duba, fuana, quana, kita, goba, hunto. And that's a little bit of a thing because Hutts only have 8 fingers. So their 10 is 8.
That's amazing.
And I don't know. Well, I learned a lot of this like a long time ago. So not a long time ago, but like 10 years ago. So that's the thing about the Star Wars universe. It constantly changes. So like that might all be wrong at this point. I don't know. I haven't really checked.
I will say the other day in traffic, somebody cut me off and I said, "Bushy Wampa."
Nice.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, that's a pushy wampa out of the way. Use it this week. Tell people to get out of your way and then count to 8.
Get out of my way and I'm going to count to 8.
I'm going to count to 8 and then you're going to get out of my way.
One way or another. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week. Goodbye.